Oh boy, do we have a spicy topic to talk about today. Jagex have falsely banned 1,000 players in one day. That has to be a new record. It's not the first time Jagex have falsely banned players. About 11 months ago they had a massive wave where they falsely banned 4 big YouTubers that I know of, including me, which I'm not one of the big ones, I'm one of the small ones, but I made a brand new account, traded 15 mil over to do a community event with the boys. It's going to be Followdoor Massacre number 2. You guys run about Followdoor, kill me for the 15 mil. Falsely banned me for that, said it was real world trade, even though it traded the money directly over for my main. Then they done pretty much the exact same thing a week later with Solo Mission.
Here we go, risking 220 mil in the wilderness in multi on a level 12.
So Solo Mission traded all that money over to level 3, then he got 43 prayer and completed Witch's House for a bit of HP XP. But yeah, pretty much a brand new account, traded a load of money over, he got banned. I think it's just Jagex system thought they were mules, but on the exact same day it flagged EVscape for macroing, so it wasn't just banning people for real world trade. Their system was so flawed back in October that it was banning a load of big YouTubers for real world trade and for macroing, like 2 different things. But if that's happening to big YouTubers and you're seeing it happen, it's going to be happening to hundreds of smaller accounts. So they were messing up real bad back then, but it's been quite smooth sailing since then. I've not heard of any false bans in quite a while until 2 weeks ago they falsely banned 1,000 accounts in one day. It's just crazy. 1,000 accounts. Now usually I am always on Jagex side. Even when I got falsely banned, I'm like, you need to have that system in the game to get rid of real world traders and all that. It did suck to get my account banned, and there should be some system in place to appeal real world trade bans when they're false, which there isn't at the minute. You cannot appeal them. You can appeal botting bans and macroing bans, which is just crazy. Like false real world trade ones need to be appealable. But usually I'm on Jagex side and usually I'm on board with most of the stuff they do, but this here story, when I read it, is just insane when actually seeing what they done. So this actually happened in RuneScape 3, not an old school RuneScape, but it is the same owners, it's still Jagex and it's still a RuneScape game and it's still RuneScape players who got wrecked. So I'm going to show you exactly what happened, then I'm going to show you what Jagex said happened. So this here's RS3, I hopped in for the first time in years just to show you guys this. If you look at my top left here, I have changed some of the settings so I can see what's actually happening in the game. But if you look at the top left, you can see those treasure hunter keys. Everybody in RuneScape 3 uses these keys. You get 2 free ones per day, 2 free spins, and then loads of people actually buy more spins and all that. So basically Jagex ran a promotion in here in the treasure hunter that made everything much stronger. It made you get much better prizes, made you hit rare prizes much more often. It was just a wee promotion and that was fine. If they add a promotion, everybody in the game is going to use that promotion because it's really good. But when you get an item, you can convert it into these things called oddments. Do you see there? I can convert this and it'll give me 75 plus 25 oddments, whatever that means. I assume I'll get like 75 oddments for that one. Do another spin, that one there is 150 oddments. While that first promotion was running, you'd get all these here prizes and you'd probably break even, but then they had another promotion run along the bottom. Whenever you open enough keys, you'll get bonus oddments. And then on top of those 2 things, Jagex thought it'd be a great idea to make oddments 50% off at the same time, so they ran 2 or maybe even 3 promotions on top of each other that made it so you could open keys in RS3 indefinitely. This was in the game for 8 hours about 2 weeks ago. Jagex's mistake, fair enough. They should have owned up to it and been like, oh, we made this mistake, we didn't mean to run all these promotions at the same time and make it so you can open keys forever. But players would have just seen this and been like, oh great, 50% off, we're definitely going to do that because we open keys every day, it's something that every player uses. And 4,000 players in RS3, that's like a massive percent of their player base. At the minute, RS3 is 18,000 players online, so instead of Jagex being like, we're really sorry to these 4,000 players who used the spins within this time, they said 4,000 players have abused this and attempted this exploit. That's how Jagex words it. How crazy is that? Using something that Jagex put into the game, 3 promotions on top of each other, is an exploit now. So let's see what Jagex said. Basically they said we were investigating an instance in which it is possible to cash out items to receive more oddments. Pretty much exactly what I covered there, and if players use this long enough they would generate a surplus of oddments. So yeah, exactly what we just covered. This discount became available at 11:30 in the morning and it ran till about 7:10 at night, so just under 8 hours it was in the game. They identified 4,000 players who quote unquote attempted this exploit, 4,000 players who used spins within that time. So everybody who plays RS3 uses those spins, so 4,000 players who'd quote unquote attempted the exploit, all they'd really done was use the spins. It actually says in a different post 7,000, so they identified 4,000 I think who'd bought keys, but some just done this from spins they had built up or whatever. So 4,000 people spent money in this promotion. I think that's how it says. I'll show you that other one in a second and you can decide for yourselves. But yeah, here's their action. So a lot of the players, they said they just tested the exploit, just used the spins, and they're not taking any action. 835 accounts, they are given 3-day bans just for using something that they added into the game. RuneScape players will always use the best possible thing they can. They always look for little tweaks, you know, best possible training method, best possible money maker, best possible skills, best possible gear. When you add something that's really strong and really good into the game, RuneScape players are going to flock to that. They're all going to use it, they're going to tell their friends about it. How they can ban people for their mistake is crazy. This here I quite like. I don't like the 65 accounts they banned for 14 days, but they said they will expect experience and item rollbacks. What Jagex should have done here is been like, we're really sorry about this mistake, we're going to roll back all the accounts who like used it a bit too much. Because they do allow unlimited spins in RuneScape 3, you just have to pay the money for it. The problem here is people didn't pay the Jagex the money, and then they're just banning them, even though it was their mistake. Now here is where it gets really spicy. 4 further accounts have been proactively suspended. That means pretty much permanently banned for doing this. This must have been 4 people who just done it for the full 8 hours. 4 people who seen these spins were really good, worked out that you could do them forever, and just done them for the 8 hours. They didn't know they were exploiting a bug. There was no bug. They just seen all these promotions stack on top of each other. They looked really good. Too good to be true maybe, but it's not their place to say, oh, Jagex probably made a mistake here. Jagex did make a mistake, and Jagex actually acknowledged this a little bit later after people had called them out and been like, hey, you guys added all this stuff into the game, shouldn't be banning players for your mistake. And then Jagex had this second announcement here, an update on the discounted treasure hunter keys in the augment exploit. They still call it an exploit here. They released another update and it starts perfectly. Firstly, we would like to take responsibility for the exploit and apologise for it. That is what they should have done in the start, and then they should have rolled back all the accounts. That would have been perfect. Instead, this apology is just nothing, because it says, whilst it's not been a bug in traditional sense, it was kind of exploited, but it wasn't really. People see something that's too good to be true, they're going to use it, they're going to do it. And it says they exploited, they didn't really. They still banned 835 accounts for doing this, even though like they're going to see it, and maybe some of them knew here Jagex have probably made a mistake here, we're getting too many spins, but they're not going to know for 100% that that's an exploit. It's not like duping items, it's not like some other bug that completely breaks the game. It's spins that people can usually pay to get, that they're getting because a couple of promotions landed on the same day. They might have just thought it was really lucky that they were online at that same time. It's like back in the day when party hats and rares and all came into RS3. If you were online at that time, you could make loads and loads of money because you got really rare items. People are online here, they could get unlimited spins, so maybe they just thought they were lucky. They still banned 61 accounts instead of 65 for 14 days. And then the accounts that they banned permanently, they changed it to 14 days. So that's good. At least they didn't permanently ban the accounts. They changed those 4 further accounts from the permanent bans to 14 days, pending further investigation. So maybe they were still considering it. But this is just insane. If this was old school RuneScape, the Reddit will be blown up. Everybody be going crazy. I've not heard any real old school RuneScape ones chatting about this yet. I seen a really good video from an RS3 dude. I'm actually going to link that in the description. Highly recommend checking it out if you want to know more about the exploit. He's an RS3 video maker, so he knows a lot more about this version of the game. But it's just crazy how Jagex can take this approach. This is the biggest mistake since Evolution of Combat. Not only are they not listening to players, they're blaming players for their own mistake. Usually I'm on Jagex's side, but on this occasion, I'm sure, as most of you guys can expect, I think Jagex are completely in the wrong. They just approached this wrong. Can't ban players for your mistake. Some of you guys might be in the fence and be like, these guys would have known. But I think because you're doing this activity every day, when you see it's really good one day, you're just definitely going to do it. Is how I'd see it. I'm trying to think what's in old school RuneScape that's like equivalent. It'd be maybe like going to G one day and there's a 10% sale on or something, but that never happens. We don't have anything that it can kind of directly compare. But I still just thought I'd share this with you guys, see what you guys think of this situation. It is a few weeks ago, but I've just been getting wind of it now. That was an update September 1st. So yeah, 2 weeks ago was the final update on it. I just think it's pretty crazy. Thought I'd share it with you guys. More old school RuneScape content coming very soon. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this situation, and I will catch all you guys in the next video. Take it easy. Bye.